Hello, everybody. Good evening again. Today we're going to talk about the topic that I'm most interested in is the Tantric Yoga of Inner Shakti, or known as Tantric Inner Shakti Yoga, which is to do with the deities within our body, how we want to relate to them, and how we want to awaken them, because the word Inner Shakti means inside, inner journey, rather than the common outer journey that everybody focuses on. So the question here is this: how do we do that? Now, there are many ways of looking at it. You can sit down, like when you look at mantras, like yesterday I was looking for Kama Kamachi mantra, and all they do is cream, 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 Kama, inner, Kamachi Namaha Om. It's not just cream, cream, cream that way. You need to do it in a proper way where actually the sound travels within your body. And so how do we go about making sure that we use yoga to grow rather than just use it to, like it's a hobby? It's like it's become a cult. Like everybody, if being spirituality means being a yoga student. A lot of yoga in today's world, be it Western, be it even in India now, when you look at places like Bihar, not Bihar school, but in Rishikesh, they are offering 200 hours of yoga class, yoga teachers training. How can you, and I've known people who go there without even knowing anything about yoga before. They've done a few exercises and they go and do the teacher's training. After 2 hours, 200 hours, they come back and teach. I've been teaching since 1977. And I find that most people are not ready, even if I have them from morning till night, evening, 7 days a week for 1 month. I still don't feel comfortable certifying them, because the Tantra, yoga, anything is a science. It's not something that you do it because you want to make a living out of it. You do it because you want to change your life. I used to remember in the 70s in the West. I lived in the West at that point of my life. And when people talked about yoga, they talk about themselves, how they're going to improve, change the way their life is, rather than look at it like, can I make a living out of doing yoga? And they practice yoga for a long time. And when you talk about yoga, you don't talk about only exercise. You talk about pranayama, you talk about tantra, you talk about, the color of your clothes. You're interested in the moon cycle, you're interested in how the moon affects your body, how you change the rhythm of your life. The most important thing is to change the rhythm so that you become more in harmony with the rhythm of the universe. At the moment, we disconnected from the universe. We're part. We're supposed to be the mirror of the macrocosm. So, which means we are identical to the macrocosm. How much of that macrocosm do we know or we relate to on the physical level? On our daily life, are we conscious of every footstep we take, every step we take in life? Or is it a hobby? I mean, you take it because you got nothing else to do. You want to get away from the system. You're not satisfied with the system. Then you decide, oh, I'll be a yoga teacher. Then you go and do yoga training. And you become a yoga teacher. It's the same thing like I'll be a chemist. Then you find down the road you don't enjoy being a chemist. Same thing with yoga teachers. I mean, I know people who have done yoga for 10 years, who are teaching yoga, and they still don't know what clothes to wear, what color suits them better, what is their nature. They don't know much about astrology. They don't know much about anything other than doing exercises. I remember when I was at the yoga festival giving a talk in Rome, most of the people that came there were wearing the same color clothes. I'm sure they're all not born on the same day. And number two, they were all synthetic clothes. All these yoga pants today, when you look at yoga channel and you think, are they running a gymnastic channel or are they actually a yoga journal? So are they supporting gymnasium or they're supporting yoga? When you start advertising yoga clothes, which are partly synthetic, you're already defeating the purpose. Number two, they have props. You don't do yoga with props. You do yoga to understand your body. If you use props, it's like using you're using walking stick to walk, or using an aid instead of looking at how you can put one foot before the other. So you want to get into Tantra, you want to get into yoga, you want to get into, it's very popular. Everybody talks about vegetarian food, they talk about raw food. Now, eating raw food is okay. If you're going to grind each thing that you eat, everything you put in the mouth, unless you're going to grind it, pulverize it, and then swallow, then it might work. But you're still not a goat. So, I mean, I don't eat raw food. I only eat cooked food. Because I know when I mean cooked food, not overcooking it, but just cooking it enough so that I can make it into a paste. When it goes down, my colon is not working too hard. My stomach is not working too hard. I mean, sometimes people say, I do yoga, I do this, I do that. When you go near them, they have a body odor which is toxic. The breath there's an odor with their breath. So if you want to do yoga, you want to do Tantra, you have to start saying, this is going to be my way of life. So if it's a way of life, you don't look at one section of it, you look at the whole package. So when you talk about yoga, you talk about Tantra, you need to know about mantras first, then yantras. Then you want to know about the nadi system, because they are the most important thing. The nadi system determines how the energy flow in your body is. If the nadi system is not working, then you're going to get sick. So your immune system drops. If your immune system drops, what happens? You start feeling weak. Now with the coronavirus and all the viruses going to come around, and I think this is only the beginning. There's a lot more to happen. So a lot of people like to think, oh, I hope this is over in 1, 2 months, 3 months. I don't see it that way. I see it as this is an ongoing thing. So now we have a choice to build up our immune system so we live healthy, we can enjoy the life we have, or you can be a victim to all the viruses that are going to come up. especially the corona at the moment. It's a good example of what can happen. I mean, we all know for certain, a long time ago, that this chemical thing is going to be the thing that's going to decide how we flow. So I wouldn't say, I don't want to talk about it, but what I'm talking about now, it's about our immune system. How are we going to improve it? So to improve it, first we got to get all the nadi system working properly. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the meridian centers. So if there's something wrong with you, you go for acupuncture. They do an acupuncture on you and you feel a lot better. The same way with here, instead of acupuncture, acupressure, massage, you do sound. I'm 77, sitting down in front here talking to you. And I work long hours because I also do all the lessons for the School of Tantra. And I enjoyed the challenge at 77. And I'm going to keep on doing this even at 80 or 90. Touch wood, if everything goes well. If I'm still hanging around, I'll be still working. The only thing that gives me the strength to do what I do is that I make sure that I watch my body all the time. I do mudras. Okay, one of my favorite mudra is the one for Kali, where I bring both my palms together and then bring up the index finger, but make sure that the left thumb is over the right thumb on this. Generally, see, if we put it, we put our right thumb on top, but here you put your left thumb. This is one mudra which is I enjoy it and it's very energetic. It also helps detoxify you. The other mudra that I enjoy doing is the Apna Mudra, which lets the energy flow, works with the energy flow better. Also very good for the digestive system. Then the third one I do is I bring the index finger to the base of the thumb, and then I bring my second finger and the middle finger and ring finger, touching the thumb, tip of the thumb. And my little finger will be standing out. This is also for the digestive system. So because your digestive system is the most important thing. Because you don't want to have a bad breath, you don't want to feel tired regularly. A lot of people, young people, they talk about being exhausted, being tired, being this, being that. Okay, let's talk about why all this happens. First and foremost, a lot of people use the wrong color of clothes. Say, for instance, okay, if you're born on the 1st, then you're ruled by the sun. Then you need sunny colors, like the cloth that I cover my chair with. You need those type of colors. Okay, number 2, you need to wear white or cream color or light blue or even light green, very light green, opaque color. Then number 3, you wear the same thing again. More crimson yellow. Okay? In my case, even though I'm born number 3, I wear red because I'm a Kali devotee. Then you have number 4, which is Ragu, which is the north node of the moon. When you have the eclipse, there's a light, and this is Ragu. So for Ragu, you wear khaki clothes. Then you have Mercury, you wear green. And then you have Venus, you wear ivory color clothes, like silk, the type of white silk type of clothes, or anything very light and joyful, creative, because Venus is also Venus also influences your creativity. After Venus comes Saturn. Saturn before Saturn comes Ketu, which is number 7. Ketu, you can use multicolors, which is good. Ketu is the south node of the moon. Ragu is the north, and Ketu is the south. And then you have Saturn. Saturn is black. So remember one thing, Saturn is a very slow planet. He's a great teacher, but he's a great kicker. So when you wear black, you also become that slow. The question is this: being slow and being relaxed and being consciously moving is two different things. Slow in the sense that it's slow in thinking, slow in action. I mean, if you know people who are born on the 8th, you'll realize that. So when you find a person who's number 3 or number 1 wearing a black, it's defeating the purpose of doing yoga, because they're not working in line with their own rhythm and frequency. They're working with an opposite frequency. Then you have Mars, which is number 9. Then this color that I'm wearing now, fire. You want your digestive fire to be really powerful. So when you wear clothes, you have to be conscious of the colors you put on your body, because it affects you. This is an age-old science that everybody knows, but today's world, everybody seems to forget it, because they go into, it's all in a fast mode. Everything is fast. So they learn very little that are basically strong principles. They touch everything, but they don't focus on a lot of the principles. Then comes, okay, how well do you keep your system? Now, normally people will fast once a week, sometimes twice a week. Okay, and then they are vegetarians, so it's easy. Now, those who are not vegetarians, who are eating meat and a lot of other heavy food and eating 3 meals a day, then you need to give your colon a clean regularly. So once every 2 weeks, you can get today in the marketplace, there's a lot of healthy, herbal laxative. You don't need to go and get the savvy ones that flushes everything out of your system. The herbal ones, they break your stools so that they move faster. Like the one that I use is this particular brand. Let me see, yeah. Okay, now, this brand I use, which is very good, which is a homeopathic, from the homeopathic medical supplies. You can find them on the internet, you can buy them. They are from India. In India, it's less expensive than buying like black moss or some of the Western products. Can you give me 1 second? So that's the other thing you have to do. You have to make sure that you clean your colon regularly. Or you can do, if you're a good yogic student, you can do yoga. There's a yoga process that can clean up your whole system. Or if you're even not into that, then you can go for colonic irrigation. Colonic irrigation, you don't do it regularly. You do it once every few months. So you still need to do, or once every 6 months. So you still need to do in between. Either you do enema, which means you do it yourself once a week, because with enema it doesn't clean out completely, it just cleans certain amount. And with the laxative it cleans a bit more. So you have all these choices to make sure that you keep your stomach clean and healthy. Then comes drinking water. How often do you drink water? The important thing is not to drink before a meal, but at least half an hour before a meal, and not to drink water at least 1 hour after a meal. Because if you do in between, it's going to affect your digestive system, because you're diluting the digestive system. So that's different philosophies to it. I keep to this one, because every time you have a different guy says, okay, you can drink water. But if you look at all the ancient teachings, they say don't do it half an hour before and half an hour after. So you take care of your system. So being a vegetarian doesn't help if you don't live a healthy lifestyle. Whether you're a meat eater or a vegetarian, it doesn't matter. With both of them, there is a way to eat. And if you eat properly, as long as you're not taking red meat, if you're eating fish or chicken, and as long as they're free range, and you cook them properly, and they're not chewy, and they melt in your mouth, it's perfect. But as long as you keep also making sure that the minute you feel a bit tight in your body, you need to move, you need to clean your colon, because your colon can produce a lot of gas. And the gas is not that you always comes out of your bum, but comes out of your skin as well. So you can find that your neck gets tight, your shoulders get tight, and that's because your colon is not healthy. Remember, your stomach is the main center of your being. So you need to take care of that. That controls your health. That controls everything, a lot of things in you, other than breathing. So then it comes to breathing. Okay, when I teach mantras, I always tell people to breathe between each bija. Let's say if I'm doing Kali mantra, I'll do the Kali mantra so you can hear it and see how I do it. When I go, then I'm taking a breath. Then I'm taking a breath. Hum, Dakshani Kalike Krim 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 Hum Swaha. So when you do that, you make sure that you breathe between each bija. Then breath and sound together makes the impact a lot more powerful. Then you can feel the energy going through every part of your body, going down your spine. This is known as inner Shakti yoga. That means you do yoga to work with your inner being, not so much your outer being. Hatha yoga is good to prepare your body for other yogas. It is not the end. It's not the beginning and the end of everything. When you do Hatha Yoga, that doesn't mean you're a yogi. You're preparing yourself to be a yogi. To be a yogi, you need to know yantras, you need to know mantras, and you need to know mudras. So you got to combine these three to be a yogi. You can't be a yogi by just doing Hatha Yoga. That's a fast track. And then also when you're doing Hatha Yoga, you cannot do Hatha Yoga like you do gymnastics. You breathe into your movement and you hold in a breath as well, so that you can feel the posture. And you can then, if you can do mentally mantras as well, you can send the sound down to the area that you want to focus on. So then you're adding sound and mantras together. Sound and movement together. So you have breath, sound, movement, all three of them working together. Then it's a lot more healthier combination. If you just do exercises, it's like you might as well call yourself a gymnastic rather than a yogi. A yogi is when he can concentrate on his movement, on his breath, and on the sound. Because sound is the only thing that works in the inner parts of your body. Now, then we come to this question of, like a lot of people are into visualization. Visualization is very good. It reprograms your brain. What about the memories that you have already installed in your cells? You can't get rid of them by visualization. Because that's why you find people who do everything, they think they're doing everything right, and they still get sick. Or they have fibroid, or they have, cancer, or they have tumor. Why aren't they all healthy? Because what happened is they have reprogrammed the brain, but they're not getting rid of the memories. It takes a long time for the new program to go in and replace, because it's not so much the cells, the memory in that place, in the organ. So every cell that's born there still takes on the program that was there. So what sound does is this creates a new sound waves, which your mouth, your lips are the one that creates a lot of the problems in your body. Second is your thoughts. So when you say harsh words, if you get angry often and yell at people, you're actually yelling at yourself, because you're planting those words into that energy of the words into your organs. So the person listening to you yelling has a choice. If they join you in the game, then they also pay the price. But if they ignore you and just listen to you yell, then you're only hurting yourself. And being a yogi and losing your temper is not a good thing. And that's the other thing that people still carry on doing. Nothing much changed in their life other than doing yoga. That doesn't help. You have to do yoga, but you also have to reprogram your brains. You're thinking, but you also got to get rid of the cells in your body. Now, we have in the classes in the online school of Tantra, I have shown how to do this mantras, how to change, how to get rid of, send sound to different parts of your organs, different parts of your body, to get rid of the memories. that are stored there, so that the new memories that you put in with your affirmation and changing the way you speak, being conscious of talking. I mean, people get angry. They seems to be thinking getting angry, it's okay, because it releases emotion. Now, question is this: releasing emotion, you can blow it out. But the minute you verbalize your energy, you actually put back into your system. In one sense, you feel lighter and better for it. I hope, a lot of time it's not. And then, but you're planting that energy into yourself. So then you have to do 10 times more sadhana or practice to get rid of that. So when you say you're a yogi, you're a tantric, you have to start being conscious of how you speak, how you control your thoughts. Sorry, my word, control. How you reprogram your thinking so that you don't think in a negative way. Whatever thoughts that come, let it come through. But don't participate in it. Be only an observer. Let even the madness come through you. Don't stop it. And don't feel guilty that it's happening, because you have programmed your brain for all your life. Not so much even you, don't blame yourself. Your environment is such that it's made you be who you are. Now you're trying to change by still living in the environment, because you can't run away, you can't escape. Because if you escape, you're not changing, because you go to a new place, you become the same in a different way. I used to remember a lot of people leaving the city and going to the country. And they go to a country town, they buy up properties there because they're cheap as well. And next time you see them, they feel, the first time they arrive there, they feel good. They feel they're going to change for the better, and they have a lot of thoughts of doing great things. Then you find they get back to the same thing they've done in the city. The politics and everything else that happens. So you can't change. My belief is that you go on living the way you're living, where you're living. Only thing is you change the way you think, and you change the way you speak. You become, not change the way, but be more conscious of what you say, so that you do not affect any more of yourself with your past tendencies. So you want to release. The more you release, the easier it is, if you have any illness, to heal. Bija mantras can get rid of any illness. It's harder when you do it yourself, but if somebody else sounds into a different part of your body, let's say someone has a cancer. If you sound all around the area which has the cancer, what the sound does is it breaks the cells and releases the cells. So the cells come out of your system. They don't stay in the cluster. Same thing with tumor, same thing with fibroid. I've worked with nearly all of the illnesses that I'm talking about. And I have students who do very well in doing that. At least one lady that I know, two ladies, one in Italy and one in the US. They do sound healing all the time, where actually the person doing the healing actually sounds it into your body. There's a way of doing it, and each different illness you can just about heal any form of illness. Stress and simple things like that, you do it to yourself, you will also improve. So in yoga, there's a lot of things you can discover. But most important thing is this, you have to discover how to use mantras. Mantras are the basic thing that you need to know. All you do is this, any mantra you hear, you stop and say, okay, I will do the same mantra, that any mantra you like on the internet. If you go and see my YouTube channel, you can see mantras there for different goddesses, and I'll be posting more and more mantras. Actually, I might do it on live stream so that it automatically gets posted. Where we will do, this is going to be a series. This is the first one, and I'm going to keep doing it. And then I'll go into how to do mantras, how to do different mantras like different goddesses, because the goddesses are very important. When you can invoke them and make them be alive in your body, you find that your life becomes a lot more stronger. You become stronger. I mean, I don't have the greatest diet. I'm pretty much relaxed in a lot of things. And yet, I'm fairly healthy from 77. I would say pretty healthy compared to a lot of people of my age or even people a lot younger than me. It's the way I think and my mantras. Then you want to go further into healing yourself or cleansing yourself. Then you can combine mantras, yantras, mudras, and Agni. Agni, when I mean Agni, is the fire ritual. Agni Homa. When you combine all of them, you can destroy every negative cell memories in your body. You can get rid of them because it's a threefold. The mudras sends energy into your body. There's movement of energy through mudras. The mantras goes into different parts of your body, creates new personalities in your body, which means they're all there in your body actually, sorry. You awaken them. And when they awaken, they replace the negative forces within your body with their energy. So if you, for instance, invoke Mother Kali, you're getting rid of all the toxins you have in your throat chakra, especially the negative energies. And then you're clearing the clouds in your heart, because a lot of people get hurt from very young. I mean, like even our own parents can hurt us. Not that they want to hurt us, they don't know what they are doing. There's always a generation gap, and they don't keep up with that generation gap. So even when they try to do good, it's very difficult when the peer groups are. We live in an individual conscious society. So we don't have like brothers, cousins, everybody living close by. So there's always interaction, there's always support group. So they have the strength to grow in a particular direction. Here, they don't have that anymore. Especially like even where I live in Malaysia. I mean, the West is worse. You don't even know your neighbors. In Malaysia, it's coming up that way in the cities. So the city folks, they don't have that support system. So they depend completely on their parents. And parents more often, I mean, I try not to interfere with my daughter. Today my daughter said, why didn't you force me before to learn Malay? I said, no, I don't force my kids. Because I can only advise, you have to do it. And if you don't do it, then it's okay. It's just that when you get to year 10 of your school, you don't pass. I said, repeat another year. Repeat 2 years if you have to. It doesn't matter. There is no such thing as, by the time you're 21, you got to be working. For me, there's no such rules, because I know one of my sons, he did accountancy and then realized that he didn't want the commercial accountancy system. Then he didn't want to work in the commercial line, but so he went and did DPET and he became a teacher. And there's a lot of people who have done that. They've gone into a profession, they're not happy, and then they change. So there's no hurry to go to anything you want to do, as long as you can remain happy doing what you do. So rule number 1 for happy life is happy lifestyle. Nobody is going to make you happy. There are people who think, okay, I want to learn Tantra, then I want to learn couple Tantras so that I can please my partner. No, you can't please your partner. Your partner must want to please themselves. You can't give them anything other than what they're ready to receive. And you can't receive anything that they give unless you're ready to receive it. So in the giving and sharing, there must be mutual respect. But first of all, you have to find that love within yourself. So then you think in terms of 2 goddesses that can help you. You have Bhuvaneshwari and you have Kamalamika. Now, whenever you talk about Kamalamika or Lakshmi in the traditional Indian system, or to the world now, because that's what the Indian system says, that she's all about giving you money. Now, God, the universe has given you everything you have, everything you need. Now you got to create what you want to have. You have to create, work for it. What happened is this: the reason they say that Lakshmi gives you money is when you do her mantra regularly, people are more receptive to you, because you have that inner prosperity inside of you, the energy. So money also gravitates towards you through your work. Not if you sit at home and worship every day, money is not going to come out of the window or from the tree drop into your house. No. You have to work. You have to you have to invest time, and for the time you will receive good money or good income, because people like you, like the energy you have. Don't have to like it. The energy that you permeate, they feel trusting. That's what Kamalamika does. Whereas Bhuvaneshwari, on the other hand, makes you feel graceful, makes you soft, makes you enjoyable. You can feel and talk, and because you're open in your heart. When you have this combination, then you can find love, because you are love. So you're only going to attract another person who's also have the love. And even if they're just trying, your energy will also transform them. But never go into relationship thinking you can change the other person. A lot of times what happens is the person changes, and then when they're already comfortable with you, they go back to the old ways again. Then you're so don't depend on a partner for your happiness. Depend on yourself for happiness. Your partner is a bonus. It's a union. But for men, I like to say one thing. You have to invest in your partner, because she can take you on your spiritual journey faster than you can to her. She has the potential. Because women, because of motherhood, they have a lot of the channels open for the universal energy to flow through. That's why if you look at most books in the old literatures, you find it's always about he, what he can do, what he cannot do. Because women were born perfect. They're born mothers on earth. Today, both men and women have to go back to the drawing board and learn the sciences because they've lost that, the fundamental thing. Why am I created? What is my biological creation? How does that suit the world? As a man, what's my role? As a woman, what's my role? If you don't understand your role, then you look at the animal world, you might understand a bit better. They follow the rule of the nature's rules. We have broken every rule. Our free will, one of the biggest mistakes God made, I think, is giving humans free will. So what we do is we stop, we change everything, including polluting the land, raping Mother Earth. So, okay, now let's go back into Tantra. Now, if you want to be a Tantric, you have to acquaint yourself with the energies within your body. Now, the famous thing they always have when you talk about bija mantras and chakras, they talk about the lam, ram, wam, all the seed sound for all the main petal of each. They are not the only thing that actually moves Mother Kundalini. It's her that you need to move. Then you need Ganesh. You need Kartikeya. You need Mother Kali and all her sisters, which are the 10 wisdom goddesses. When they can all open up in your body, like when you do, I'll give you 2 more mantras so you've got something to work on. When they move in your body, then you know that you are getting a different, you're becoming a different person because you're pre-programming your cells as well. But okay, when you do affirmations alone, you're not going to improve. If you do mantras alone, you're still not going to go very far. You have to do affirmations and mantras, mantras and affirmation. You can't do one or the other. Okay, so this new age stuff where they're teaching about, before you had Tantra, new age Tantra, Neo Tantra that didn't know anything about mantras. Didn't know anything about yantras. I think 30 years ago when I met the whole group of them, they don't know anything about Tantra. And they mixed up Kama Sutra for Tantra because they were interested in sex. Somehow, because of Osho, they went into Tantra. And then they found Kama Sutra, they added Kama Sutra to Tantra and got rid of all the other rest of it. Like the mantras, yantras. I mean, some of them, you ask them what the yantra, they don't know. And they're supposed to be teaching Tantra. I hope now, with all the information available, a lot of the younger ones that are teaching now are actually still not teaching the proper way, but they normally go for the generic ones like Om Bhu Bhuhaswaha, then Om Namah Shivaya. Now, even when you do Om Namah Shivaya, you go Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om. It doesn't do much because you're not focusing on the sound traveling inside. You're calling Shiva outside. Shiva is always meditating. He's not interested in you. He hasn't got time for you. He has universal problems. Okay, you're only a speck in that universe. who the 10 wisdom goddesses within you and Ganesh are the only one, and the planets are the only ones that actually work with you. So calling Shiva, calling Parvati, calling Lakshmi, Saraswati is useless. You have to be a saint before they respond to you, because then they have to take you, because you've come within the universal energy level. Then they need you to respond to go and come into their realm. So when we are on the ground level, on the earth realm, we have to go for Kamlamika, Matanji. So today we will do Bhuvaneswari and Kamlamika. So when you think in terms of your heart chakra, now all the sound has to go to the heart, not to your belly and not all over the place. So you go, Now when you do the first, like O short, you keep it to your third eye. When you do the O long, it goes down to your body. If you go Om, the sound travels, but the vibration is not so heavy. When you go then you go Shreem, 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 Haim, Bhuvaneswari Swaha. On a lot of books, they'll say, only do Hreem, Hreem, Hreem. Bhuvaneswari is good enough. I like to combine prosperity and love, wisdom and love together, so that they create a better balance. So you have Hreem, which is Bhuvaneswari's Bija mantra. You have Shreem, which is Kamlamika. Then you call her again with the Hreem. Then you do the Aim that brings wisdom into that. So you find that your love is not just based on blind love, but a combination of wisdom, inner prosperity, joy, inner, so you feel good. Then when you want Kamlamika, she also is within the heart. When you feel good, when you feel love for the world, then people will feel love for you. Then whatever you do, you're successful. So you go, Shreem, Hreem, Shreem, Aim, Kamlamika Swaha. So there again I call for inner prosperity. I call for love as well. Then I call again for inner prosperity. I call wisdom. Aim. So you combine them in such a way that they work for you. You decide how you want to do, what you want out of each of the goddesses. You don't have to blindly follow what mainly Frawley and Arthur Avalon, a lot of them who write, they're good authors. They give you the basic information that you need, like what traditionally every Hindu and Tantric do. I tend to want to change things around because I believe that you have to focus on that flow, because I work on feeling what I feel. When I do a sound, I have to feel it. If I say I want the sound to go, say to my pubic bone, I go, green. Then I know it goes there. If I want to go to my heart, I go, So the length changes, except for the M goes for as long as you can hold your breath. If you do that on a regular basis, you do very well. So, but then if you want to learn more in detail, and if you want a mentor who will work not just on your bija mantras and your sound, but go beyond that, counsel you regularly, then you can come, you can join one of my online sessions. Then normally each module is for 6 weeks. But remember one thing, when you come to me, doing 6 weeks is not going to take you very far. It gives you a basic thing. But what you need again is someone that you can work with regularly, like going to a psychologist, except that I'm not a psychologist. And I work on more, I work your Vedic astrology, I try to find out your imprint and then help you, based on your imprint, how to reprogram your brains. So there'll be a lot of discussion in between. Then depends on what you need. And if you're doing Tantra as a profession, if you're teaching Tantra and everything else, and you really want to do a good job, a proper job, be a proper teacher, especially now with a lot of women wanting to, they're into womb, like Neo Tantra now, the womb thing is very big. Bija sounds is the only thing that's going to awaken the energy in the womb. Nothing else works. I mean, you can do affirmation, you can feel better, but you don't want to feel just better. You want the womb to be awakened. You want that divine energy with you. And it's very easy with women. Like sometimes it makes me jealous when I work, like when I worked with my wife when I first met her. Within 4 days, her Kundalini energy started moving in a nice, gentle way. And whereas it took me years of practice. For men, it takes a bit longer. For women, sometimes within 3-4 days, sometimes. But my wife was a pretty special woman. It was easy with her. Some of them might take 30 days, 20 days, 15 days, but they all feel within the first 2-3 days, they start feeling the movement. That's if they come here personally. When they learn with me, if they practice every day, they will also find, if you practice every day, you'll find great movement. So thank you for being here today. I'll see you next Saturday again. At the same time, we'll go further into doing different mantras. And then look at planets. Why you need to know your planets. How you can get acquainted to planets. And then on my YouTube channel, I will put the link to where you can go and make your own chart to know what you're looking for. Because you need to know your blueprint. You can't progress very much until you understand your blueprint and what you have to do. You need to have a map of your journey, because a lot of us don't know ourselves. Even we think we know, but when you really look at it, you don't know. Because you only get a glimpse of, because there is a social environmental energy that controls you, and then there's an inner energy that controls you. So a lot of times it's a mixture, combination. But when you look at it and you read it and you learn it and you start feeling it, and then you understand it. Okay? So, thank you for being here. Namaste. Or Vanakkam, actually. I don't know why. I sign always Vanakkam, but when I speak, I say Namaste. Namaste, no. Vanakkam is more from my for the Tamil tradition. So see you next week. Bye.